It's like it's wait a minute. It's like Detroit couldn't miss. It's like they couldn't miss. Who's it? I just want to know, when are we gonna start guarding the three? We had a good couple of games in the beginning of the season where we were guarding the three, and now all of a sudden we just leave everybody and their mother open. Just leave them open. And they're knocking down the shots because that's what professionals do. That's what professionals are supposed to do. You give them an open look, they knock down the shot. That's the job. That shouldn't even be sensationalized. That's the job. You know what they would do against us if we left them open? They would hit 9 out of 10. So now it's starting to be that. They're doing their job. They're knocking the shots down. Detroit 57% from 3, 19 to 33. 33 of their 84 shots were threes. K draws the defense, kicks it out, hit a 3. They did their job. So we can't afford to sit up there and do anything less than but evaluate the fact that we got to guard the 3 differently. And I know a lot of y'all, like I said, y'all are trapped on this tanking culture that y'all created. It's just like that's the answer. At some point, you have to start doing the work. If we're not guarding the 3 now, when you get this miracle, spiritual, lyrical player that you want, how are we going to guard the 3 then? If we're not winning and we're not successful before your miracle God comes, what do you think is going to happen when they get here? Just from a grown-up standpoint. Just being a grown-ass man. Just pointing that out to you. Like, who's in charge of our defense? Who's in charge of the defensive philosophy? Is it Darko or somebody else? I need to understand whose idea is this? It's a lot of mistakes. A lot of guys were being left open because of missed assignments or just draw the defense, kick it out. And y'all keep saying we tanking, we doing it on purpose. Really? Like we're doing it on purpose? So you trying to tell me next year, all of a sudden, it's going to be gone. We're not going to, those habits that we're creating, they're going to disappear. And we're just going to lock everybody down from 3 with the rules being the way that they are. You know you have to leave certain guys open. Wherever the ball goes, you have to face the ball and go after it. You can't stand still. So that leaves guys open. It's deliberate. It's deliberate that certain guys are open on purpose. I don't even know why we don't utilize that shit. Everybody else is utilizing it. Use the rules. Find out what these rules are and use them to your advantage. Whether you're a ball handler attacking the basket, attacking your man, we're looking for 3s. Use the rules. That's all they doing. They know when you got the ball at a certain angle, when you drive to the basket, everybody got to go with you. And it leaves, if you go at the right angle, someone's going to be open. They have to be. It's still geometry, still game of angles. Once in a blue moon, you might go the wrong angle and that nobody's really open, but they're still moving with you. They have to move wherever the ball goes. They have to face the ball. They have to go closer to the ball. That's why you can kick it out across the court and the passing lane be wide open. You can't stand still. You have to chase the ball. You have to actively go after it. Or they'll put them on the free throw line and you'll be penalized until you do. But at some point, we got to start using those rules to our advantage. And I don't know how they're going to fix this 3-point shooting, but it got to be fixed. We're going to have to hit shots, and we're going to have to defend, whether it be getting to the passing lane. You're getting paid a pretty penny to figure this fucking problem out. It's not very difficult to figure out. I'm not doing it for free. I'll tell you that much. I can figure out just about any problem you put in front of me. I'm not doing it for free, and they're not doing it for free. They're not there for their health. They're not there to have fun. That's their job. Just so they have an entertaining job. It's fun. It's funish for them and fun for us to watch and talk about. But at some point, we're going to have to start winning some games and figure this winning thing out. And we're going to have to stop the 3-point shooting because everyone is doing it. And 82 games of that, either we're going to have to hit more 3s or defend the 3 better. And there are some teams that defend the 3 really well. Orlando does a decent job. Really, really good job. Orlando, the way Orlando defends the three is the same way Boston used to defend the three when Brad Stevens first got there. Or even to this day, it's the same way, down to the footwork. But it's like, what are we doing? We can't keep allowing guys to hit threes. Guys that are nobodies. Like, they sent Tobias Harris and they sent Tim Hardaway Jr., and all. They sent them to Detroit to fade away. That's the beginning of their retirement, exodus from the league. They sent them to Detroit to die. They didn't send them to Detroit to flourish. They were sent there to crash out and, all right, now you're out the league. You be all right. Nice having you. Just so happens they hooping. We allowed them dudes to look like superstars, man. Tim Hardaway Jr. had 27 off the bench. He ain't do that with Dallas against us. Like, he just, and they ain't even play. They were missing one of their hoopers. It was like, come on. And we had, and with them shooting like that and hitting shots, we still had moments where we had control over the game. So we got to figure this thing out, man. At some point, we have to defend the three. And it's going to be, if we don't, it's going to be hot for Darko. Because Masai, that ain't a Masai Ujiri problem. That's a Darko problem. Darko is going to have to figure that out. We don't have time. I don't want, see, the problem is you practice, you play how you practice. You can't keep saying we're going to keep these bad habits, and then once we get this magical kid or this magical player or this magical moment, everything changes. No, you are a product of your habits. That's what life is. This success that you see so far away has to be attached to your routine, to your system. You're only going to go as far as your system. All your goals have to be attached to your system. We have no system. We have no structure. We're not losing because we're tanking. We're losing because there's no structure. The talents and the gifted players that we do have, we're not utilizing them to the maximum. They're overexerting themselves in one game, underexerting themselves in the next. Overexerting themselves in one game, underwhelming in the next. And we're getting these highs and we're getting these lows, and the highs come, but then there's too many lows and they all erase the high that we had. So at some point, we're going to have to make a decision when it comes to coaching. I like Darko, but he has to figure this problem out in real time. We understand he has a theory, but at some point you have to understand your job isn't to show us how smart you are, isn't to show us how intelligent and how much shit you know. Your job is to win by any means necessary. And sometimes in winning, you don't need 100% of what you know. You might only need 20%. And in fact, you should only need 20% to get the 80% that you want. Because we have 82 games to play and fucking playoffs at some point. So you can't continue to give all this energy to these moments. You have to cruise. It has to be put together right, and you have to cruise. Because you're trying to conserve energy for when it counts the most, which is the playoffs. We're not even getting back into that conversation yet. Because we can't defend threes. And then we got so it's like I said on Twitter, it's like we got a 5-second offense and a 5-second defense. Something got to give. Because we're wasting some good years and some good players, and you don't want them to become discouraged. You don't want the fan base to become discouraged. You don't want, because guys will start disconnecting from the coaching in a minute. That's going to happen. They're going to start, it's going to be a detachment. And then we're going to have to figure the next move out. But right now, we got to figure out how to guard that three. You know what I mean? I think the last 40 games of the season, he should concentrate on figuring that problem out. Because that's going to be something that he can hang his hat on. I don't give a fuck about that 5-second, whatever he got going on at this point. I want to win. I don't care if it takes 5 seconds or 15 seconds. As long as we win.